Cascade Hoops Talk, Billy D. The pressure builds, the final games approach. The marbles are way bigger now, and they're a heck of a lot harder to hang on to. Buckle up. Cascade Hoops Talk starts right now. Cascade Hoops Talk, produced in the shadow of the beautiful Cascade Mountains and bringing the world NAIA basketball. One podcast at a time. Hey, I hope everybody had a good weekend. I went down and covered a couple of games at Bushnell, big Cascade Conference games. We'll talk about that when we get to the Cascade. But there were several post-game interviews. I think there's 6 altogether. You can find them on X or you can find them on YouTube. That's where I post up the post-game interviews. They're only a couple minutes a piece, so you won't have to dedicate a lot of your day. But it's always fun to go down and talk to those great NAIA student athletes. Hey, let's see what's going on around the country. And obviously, we're going to start with number 1, Freed Hardeman. They defeated Campbellsville 75-64 on Saturday. Rico Sane, 13 points, 8 rebounds. The veteran Phil Horton, he had 12.7 rebounds. They go to 25-1, and they will be at Cumberland on Thursday. Georgetown, they played Cumberland. They beat them 88-72. Darian Lewis, 16 points, 2 rebounds, and Zion Harmon, 12 points for the freshman. They go to 20-6. The Tigers do, and they're going to be at Lindsey Wilson on Thursday. Huge game. So speaking of Lindsey Wilson was in action this weekend, and they defeated Bethel. So that has set up something pretty interesting here. Here's the standings. Obviously, Freed, you know that. So Georgetown and Lindsey Wilson are tied, and University of Cumberland's is a game back. And I mean, we are running out of time. So on Thursday, University of Cumberland's will be at Campbellsville, and Georgetown will be at Lindsey Wilson. Somebody's going to get punched in the mouth in that one because there ain't no ties in basketball. So keep an eye out for that. That's Thursday. Number 2 team in the nation, Grace College. They beat Indiana Wesleyan. Of course, they were home there at Grace, but still a big win. Indiana Wesleyan has been playing very good basketball. Gage Sefton, he came to play, the Blackhawk Christian great. 29 points, 13 rebounds, big double-double. Big boy double-double. Michael Wellman, the freshman, 14 points, 5 rebounds. I can't believe all these amazing freshmen all around the country. Grace goes to 24-2, and they're going to be at Bethel on Wednesday. So with that loss, Indiana Wesleyan goes to 22-4. They'll be just fine, and they're going to host Marion on Wednesday. And usually I don't give you because it takes too long to go through the points from both teams, but in that loss to Grace, Cademan Bontrager, 33 points, 13 rebounds. He's gonna, if he's not the Crossroads Player of the Year, I'd like to meet the person who is. Every night that guy is right there. So Indiana Wesleyan will host Marion on Wednesday. Bethel Pilots, they lost at Mount Vernon. That's 2 straight big wins that Mount Vernon has had. Remember, they knocked off Grace. Now they've knocked off Bethel. It is tough to win in Ohio. 91-83 was the final of this one. Trent Koning, 21 points, 8 rebounds. Peyton Heiss, a triple-double. That's pretty impressive. 14 points, 11 rebounds, and 10 assists. And Bethel will be hosting Grace on Wednesday. Ain't going to get no easier. And then Huntington, big win for Huntington at Taylor. They beat him 74-64. Big Caden Johnson, 18 points, 11 rebounds for a double-double. Miles Good, 18 points, 5 rebounds. Huntington goes to 20-6, and they're going to host St. Francis on Wednesday. A couple more games real quick. Spring Arbor got the win over Goshen, and St. Francis beat Marion on Saturday as well. Let's go to the standings. Thing I want to focus on first is, so Huntington got that win, and that knocked them up into the you're going to get a home game level. Obviously, they're still I think 2 games to go. But that was a big win for them. Right now, they're in that will have a home game in the first level. And you got to keep an eye on Bethel because they're tied with them. Taylor and Bethel could, with 2 games left, Taylor and Huntington, I'm sorry, with 2 games left, could knock Bethel under the red line. Remember, the red line, over it, you play at home to start the playoffs. So what's coming up on Wednesday? Taylor is going to be at, Spring Arbor is going to be at Taylor. Grace is going to be at Bethel. And then St. Francis is at Huntington. So we'll have a lot better view of who's going to be at home in the Crossroads after this coming Wednesday. Jump down to the Sun. Ave Maria hosted Kaiser, and big win by Kaiser. Not a big surprise, but a bigger surprise because it was at Ave Maria. I didn't expect that. So huge, in my view, a big win for Kaiser, 91-84. Ave Maria goes to 22-3, and they'll be at Warner on Monday. For Kaiser in this game, Cameron James, every night, there he is, 17.7 rebounds. Matthew Shea, 21.6 rebounds. Kaiser has really been on a tear. They're 22-3 now. They're going to host Florida Memorial on Wednesday. Take a look at the rest of the conference. Good win by New College. Good to see them getting the W Column Southeastern one. St. Thomas knocked off Florida Memorial. Good to see. Well, anyways, a good win for St. Thomas. And, of course, we talked about Ave Maria and Kaiser. Here's the standings. So, with that, Kaiser takes a half-game lead over Ave Maria. Southeastern is right there. I don't know if they can get above. Those 2 teams at the top line get a bye, so they don't play in the first round. These 4 teams play in the first round, and the 2 winners from that make up the final 4. On Monday tonight, Ave Maria is at Warner. That's a game they should win, but what is it? It's a road game. Florida Memorial on Wednesday will be at Kaiser. St. Thomas, who just got the big win over Florida Memorial, they will be at Ave Maria. And the 2 teams battling it out at the bottom, last ones to make the playoffs, Georgia, Coastal Georgia, and Weber will play on Wednesday as well. So things are going to get a lot clearer here in about a week. And then the tiebreakers take over. Oklahoma Wesleyan jumping over to the KCAC. They beat York 86-50. Tamaje Azwagbe, 11 points, 9 rebounds. Yashi McKenzie, 10 points. So they go to Oklahoma Wesleyan goes to 23-3. They're going to host Evangel on Wednesday. Also in the KCAC, Friends hosted McPherson. This was a big game. They beat McPherson 89-81. Randy Wolf, 15 points, 3 rebounds, 8 assists. Big game for him. And Colin Macklin, he's a big-time scorer, 27 points, 9 rebounds. Friends goes to 21-5, and they're going to be at Southwestern College on Wednesday. So let's take a look at what else happened on Saturday. Evangel won. They're still trying to jockey for position. Avila, who's battling for that last playoff spot, got the win over Sterling. Kansas Wesleyan knocked off the Jinx of Southwestern. Big win. That's a good win for Kansas Wesleyan. We talked about. And then Bethel. Bethel is trying to stay above the line or get above the line for a home playoff spot. So that's a good win for them. Take a look now at what I'm talking about. You can see that Bethel and Southwestern College are battling for that home spot right here. And then down here, Avila and Kansas Wesleyan right now are tied for that last playoff spot. So what's happening on Wednesday? Well, Evangel's going to be at Oklahoma Wesleyan. Evangel's still playing for position, as is McPherson. Kansas Wesleyan is trying to get into that 8-team play or conference tournament. I'm sorry. Southwestern also is trying to get into that tournament. They have to go to Friends, though. Bethel, who's trying to stay in the home, how do you say it, in the top four to play a home game. They're going to be at Tabor. That's a game they should win. And Avila has to go to York. So I know it's a lot of information, but these last couple games are a lot that has to be decided. The GSAC, Hope International, they beat Embry-Riddle. Both these teams needed a win. Only Hope got it. Amon Haynes, one of the best freshmen in the country. So many good freshmen around the country. 17 points, 5 rebounds. CJ Fisher, 14 points, 6 rebounds. Hope goes to 21-5, and they'll be at Park Gilbert on Thursday. Arizona Christian, they defeated the Masters. Big win for the Firestorm. They win that 80-71. Big J. Lee, 18 points, 15 rebounds. Yeah, that's a big boy double-double from a big boy. That dude is big. I've interviewed him. He is big. S.A. Onakpoma, 19 points, 3 rebounds. Arizona Christian is 20-6, and they're going to host La Sierra on Thursday. And Benedictine Mesa, they go to Surprise and got surprised. OUAZ beat them. Big win for OUAZ. They beat Benedictine Mesa 78-76. Jerry Johnson, 15 points. Max McPaw, 14 points, 7 rebounds, 8 assists. They go to 21-5, Benedictine Mesa does, and they're going to host the Masters on Thursday. Let's take a look at these standings. So you see Hope, Arizona Christian, and the Masters are all tied with, what is that, two more games to go? I think I'm trying to remember how many games they play. Not very many left. And so Benedictine Mesa and Embry-Riddle for that last playoff spot. Now remember, if you're below this red line in this conference, you're out. And Embry-Riddle, I don't think, oh boy, they would. My honest opinion, they don't get in the NAIA tournament unless they can play their way in. So that could end their season. Looking at the schedule, the Masters, Life Pacific's at La Sierra tonight, Tuesday night. And then on Thursday, the Masters at Benedictine Mesa, OUAZ at Embry-Riddle. I told you how important those were. And then Hope and Arizona Christian, of course, they're playing for the championship, or the number 1 seed, I should say. And they're all in action on Thursday. Over in the Sooner Conference, Nelson defeated Science and Arts on Saturday, 89-79. Micah Clark, 32 points. Man, that guy puts up a 32 spot every time he goes out. 32 points, 8 rebounds. Breon Williams, 15 points, 3 rebounds. Nelson goes to 22-4, and they will be at Central Christian on Thursday. And then Langston just demolished John Brown, only gave him 40 points, held him to 24 in the first half and 16 in the second half. So Langston goes to 21-5. Omar Henry had 16 points, 3 rebounds. Orlando Thomas, 14 points, 4 rebounds. Langston will host Texas Wesleyan on Thursday. Let's go to the standings on this, because this is, or no, these are the rest of the results for Saturday. Central Christian won. Wayland Baptist got the win over Southwestern Christian. Mid-America Christian knocked off Texas Wesleyan. Good win for Mid-America Christian. And then Science and Arts got a very important win on Sunday when they finished up the broken backboard game. You might remember that. They had to pause a game for a broken backboard that happened, I don't know, a week and a half ago or something. So what is all that? Where does all this put us? So Nelson is 1 game up on Langston. Wayland Baptist, Texas Wesleyan, those guys are all jockeying for position, but they play this tournament in one location, so the position isn't quite as important. You do want to move up and help your seeding, but the big battle here is Central Christian and Science and Arts, both 6-14 for that final playoff spot. So Nelson is going to go to Central Christian. Texas Wesleyan and Langston. So Langston is still 1 game down from Nelson. So Langston's going to be a big Central Christian fan. and Nelson's rooting for Texas Wesleyan, but the game's at Langston. I don't know if you. I'm trying to go too deep. I apologize. Science and Arts, who's battling with Central Christian for the last playoff spot, they have to go to Wayland, and Southwestern Christian is in that battle as well. They have to go to John Brown. I think Panhandle might be out of it mathematically, but they're trying to get in the playoffs as well. They'll be hosting Mid-America Christian. They've had some success at home. Okay, let's go over to the AAC now. I got you completely confused. Pikeville was at Reinhardt, beat them 72-61. Bradley Bunch, 21 points, 5 rebounds. L.A. Walker, 18 points, 11 rebounds. Pikeville goes to 22-3, and they're going to host Spartanburg Methodist on Monday tonight. Just a quick look at what else happened. Key games: Johnson beat Milligan. Milligan's in a playoff race, trying to stay in the playoffs. CIU beat Bryan. Those are probably the two biggest. We already told you about that one. Let's go to the standings, show you what we're talking about here. So Pikeville is going to win the conference. And you see this Union and these four teams down here, they do a playoff to come down to 2. And then they set up with these other 6 up here to make an 8-man tournament. And so Reinhardt and Milligan that's the end of it. You're below this second red line down here where Milligan is. You're not in at all. So what's happening on, Thursday? No, tonight. These are tonight. Johnson is at Union Commonwealth. They want to stay in second. Reinhardt is at Milligan. Those are the two that are battling for the last playoff spot. Rocky Mountain, they got a sweep this weekend. Another sweep this weekend. They beat Montana State Northern, a game that was really a hurdle for them. They got past it 75-69. Carter McCoy, 14 points, 5 rebounds, and 23 points, 5 rebounds for Royce Robinson. And then on Saturday, they defeated Providence. Rocky was at home. They defeated them 77-61. Rocky Mountain now is 23-3. Joyce Billadu, 25 points in this one with 4 rebounds. And Royce Robinson, again, 15 points, 7 rebounds. So they'll be at Mayville on Friday. Rocky Mountain will. Also this weekend, Danny Neville got win number 200. Win number 200. Man, what is he? He's like 24 years old or something. Anyway, no. Congratulations to Coach Neville. He's had a great career so far, and he's just getting started. So here's the rest of the scores. Bellevue beat Montana Tech, and look at the score. That's the story there, 49-38. The entire NAI is getting more and more defensive. The games are slowing down, not all of them, obviously, but as a general rule, you're seeing lower scores. Carroll got the big win over Providence, and Montana Western swept this weekend, defeating Dakota State, and then we'll show you they beat Bellevue on Saturday. Yeah, here it is. They beat Bellevue on Saturday. Carroll swept as well, and Montana Tech came back and got the split at home. They beat Dakota State on Saturday. So Rocky Mountain is two games ahead of the pack, and you can see the pack right there. There's the cutoff line. So you got Dickinson State and Valley City kind of battling for that last playoff spot. Carroll's going to be at Valley State. Dickinson is going to be at Dakota State. And then Rocky Mountain will be at Mayville on Friday. That's a game Rocky Mountain really wants to win. I'm going to show you why. Because on Saturday, they go to Valley City right here. They go to Valley City, and that is that is a program that Coach Danny Neville has history with. And they would love nothing more than to knock off Rocky Mountain and take away their opportunity to win a championship. So I think you're going to see Rocky Mountain come out and give it their all on Friday. Dickinson State will be at Bellevue, and Carroll will be at Mayville on Saturday as well. The Red River Conference, LSU Shreveport, they fall to Xavier 88-84. In that game, Ben Traven Phillips for Xavier, 26 points, 5 rebounds, 7 assists, and Nasir DeGray, 15 points, 3 rebounds. LSU Shreveport goes to 21-5, and they'll be at Texas A&M San Antonio on Thursday. Let's go through real quick. LSU Alexandria beat Our Lady of the Lake. North American beat Texas A&M Texarkana. That was a big win for North American, and you can see the rest of the scores there. Here's the standings. Jarvis Christian and Texas A&M San Antonio in that same battle for the final playoff spot. So taking a look at Thursday, Texas A&M Texarkana is Our Lady of the Lake. Jarvis Christian is at North American. LSU Alexandria is at Dallas. Here we go. Texas A&M San Antonio is going to be hosting Shreveport. Again, they're battling it out for that final playoff spot. In the American Midwest, Columbia College, they defeated Central Christian 63-57. They go to 24-3. Caleb Jones, 14 points, 6 rebounds. Jameel Goins, 15 points, 10 rebounds. And a couple other games of interest this weekend. Hannibal LaGrange got the win on Saturday, as did Williams Baptist. Here's the standings. Everybody in this league makes the playoffs. It's becoming very clear that Columbia is going to win the conference. Williams Baptist is going to end up third. So coming up this weekend, Central Baptist is at Williams Baptist. Hannibal LaGrange is hosting Crowley's Ridge, and that is on Thursday. In the Southern States, William Carey was at Mobile. They beat him 94-72. Randarius Hughes, 13 points, 5 rebounds. Troy Dunn, 13 points, 11 rebounds. They go to 20. William Carey goes to 23-3, and they're going to be at UT Southern on Thursday. The rest of Southern States, Bruton Parker got the win over Thomas University. Dalton State beat Life. That was big. William Carey, as we said, won. And Faulkner, who's really been on a roll, beat Loyola. Look at here. You'll see it in the standings. Remember, they do that East-West thing. So now in the East, Dalton State, Bruton Parker, and Life are all virtually tied now. And in the West side, Faulkner now has taken the lead by a half game over William Carey. Those two teams below the red line on each one are the ones that do not make the playoffs. So what's coming up on tonight? Dalton State's at Bruton Parker. That's big. And then on Thursday, Dalton State hosts ABAC. That's big. Thomas is going to be at Life. So that's a home game for Life. So that's one they should pull out. Same way, William Carey is hosting UT Southern, as I said. Morningside, we haven't talked much about them this season. They played Hastings this weekend. They beat them 103-91. Dan Brocale, 19 points, 2 rebounds, and Tyson Oddbody, 19 points, 2 rebounds. And they beat Hastings. They're going to be playing Briarcliff on Saturday. Just a couple scores in the GPAC to talk about. Doane defeated Waldorf. And then Briarcliff beat Concordia. That was big. I'll show you here in a second. And then Midland fell to Dort at Dort. So if you look at the standings, Midland fell. That put them real close to dropping out here. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. Concordia and Briarcliff are a half game apart for this last home playoff game. So on Wednesday, Doane will be at Hastings, and Mount Marty will be at Concordia. It almost seems like the the race for the final playoff spot in most of these conferences is almost tighter now than the championship race. Let's go to the Cascade Conference. LC State, on Friday, they defeated Evergreen. John Lustig, John Lustig, beat big John Lustig, 22 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, and Jamare Childs, 14 points, 6 assists. And then on Saturday, this is where the wheels really fell off in the Cascade Conference. LC State went to Northwest and lost 82-77. LC State seemed to be in the driver's seat, and they fell. They go to 20-6. In that game for Northwest, Trent Williams got 20 points, 6 rebounds. Lucius Fox, 15 points, 9 rebounds. So how did this weekend unfold? On Friday, Corbin at home upset College of Idaho. That wasn't expected. Bushnell at home upset Eastern Oregon. This Corbin-Bushnell, this is what I tell you all the time. We call it the trip into the valley. It can be a nightmare. Then on Saturday, everything seemed to go back to the cards by Hoyle. Eastern Oregon went over and beat Corbin. College of Idaho went and beat Bushnell. That's when Northwest beat LC State, and LC State had a game on everybody. So here's the standings. Look at that. 3 teams tied for first, 2 teams tied for second, 1 game back. The sad thing about these 5 teams, they've all had great seasons. They're all virtually tied for first, but one of them's going to be 5th and have to start the playoffs on the road. Northwest has secured the 8th spot, so there's not a race there. So here's what's going to happen. This big weekend on Friday. Corbin is going to be at LC State. Oregon Tech is at College of Idaho. Southern Oregon is at Eastern Oregon. That's on Friday. On Saturday, Southern Oregon goes over to College of Idaho, and Oregon Tech goes to Eastern Oregon, and LC State hosts Bushnell. So something's going to happen. This is the last weekend in the conference. Something's going to happen. LC State's at home all weekend. Eastern's at home all weekend. And so is College of Idaho. So we'll have to see what happens. It's really tough to sweep on the road. So we're just going to have to see what happens. Shawnee State in the River States, they beat St. Mary of the Woods 95-79. Jason Steele, 15 points, 6 rebounds. Jaden Geis, 16 points. They go to 22-4, and they'll be at Kentucky Christian on Tuesday. Brescia beat West Virginia Tech. IU Kokomo beat Rio Grande. West Virginia Tech at home beat Brescia. Rio Grande at home beat IU Kokomo. And Kentucky Christian beat Oakland City. Those were all games for position. They do the East-West thing as well. So you can see Kentucky Christian is a game back for that final playoff spot with West Virginia Tech. Kokomo and IU Southeast are battling it out for the championship in the West, and Brescia is trying to hold off Oakland City. That's what made all those games big games. So this week on Tuesday, IU Southeast goes to Brescia, and Oakland City is going to be at St. Mary of the Woods. And number 25, Graceland, they fell to Missouri Baptist. Marquise Lewis, 18.6 rebounds. Javarius Moy, 14 points, 3 rebounds. They go to 21-5 after the loss to Missouri Baptist, and Graceland will host Grandview on Wednesday. So in this conference, Peru State got a win. Missouri Baptist, as we said, won. Baker battling for a playoff spot, beat Park, and William Penn still battling for position, defeated Mid-America Nazarene. Here's the standings. You see where Benedictine and Baker and Peru State are all right here battling for this last spot. So Grandview and Graceland are playing on Wednesday. That's a game for position. William Penn and Culver Stockton again. They're all jockeying to get the highest seed possible. Baker is going to host William Woods. These three teams right here in the right-hand column, they're all trying to get in the playoffs. Benedictine's at home, and Peru State is going to go to Mid-American Nazarene. Wow, I know that's a lot to take in, but these conferences are down to the final couple of games. Everybody's got all their marbles on the table, and everybody's just trying to grab everybody else's marbles and looking for a clear path. Anyway, we'll be back again with you tomorrow. I think tomorrow, if we have time, we're going to try to break down the not so much the playoffs, but the seedings, but the tournaments. Who's going to make the tournaments? What automatic bids are in each conference, and who gets them? So if hopefully we can have that for you tomorrow. In the meantime, thank you for listening. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Thank you very much for supporting our podcast. Please like and subscribe. Get out to your local NAIA school, because NAIA basketball is the best entertainment value in America.